Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be talking about the Devil Amplifier. In this particular video, I'm actually going to be talking about the Devil West. I will cover Devil North some other time, and if I do cover North, I probably won't make an actual build for it. The reason being because if I was going to make a really good build for it, it would probably be extremely expensive, and and it probably won't even be stable. So I'm like, So what I went for the Devil North is I'll probably do something cheap like this, whatever the hell this is, and just do a jet build, But yeah, but for now I'm gonna do Devil West. All right. Okay. So one thing's for sure, however you build your amplifier, right? So how I built it is I went a little bit extra safe and built all around it with walls and all the slants all around. All right. Build it however you want, really. But this is how I prefer it, and I prefer this little taker box in here so that I'm gonna jump in there. So if I go in the corner here, jump in there, and I go on the top, right? I guess it'll take a little bit of practice with the leap weapon to try to get on top, but if you practice enough, you should be able to get down there pretty reasonably. So in this case in particular, so whatever you do, however you build your amp, do not connect this amp to your block offs, right? You can put floors here though. You can put floors there. You can put a floor there. That is okay. These are perfectly okay. And these you can put like floor launchers or something. If you want to. Those are okay. This is also okay too. I just chose not to because I didn't feel like I needed them. Save structures anyway. But yeah, so these floors won't connect to your structures, but if you do something like putting walls over here, these will connect to your structures, connect to all the block off, and they'll actually consider everything here as part of block off, and it will start charging your walls, and you don't want that, right? So whatever you do, make sure you have walls on your amp, and also make sure your walls are not connecting to your block off over here. It's very critical to make sure that these smashers don't start charging in. All right. And it also includes for the west side too. So the west side, if you have some block off here, make sure they don't connect. Alright. So alright, that's just how you build the amplifier. This is very critical for the Devil Amplifier in particular. Alright. So the actual Devil West setup. Alright, so there's gonna be 4 spawns in here. This is the first spawn here, second spawn down there, third spawn down there, and the fourth spawn down there. It's a very wide spawn, therefore in order for you to really build it well, you're gonna have to deal with building for all the spawns, right? So down here I just didn't really build much because they're gonna lead over here, which is gonna connect to this pathway over here. So as you can see, there is just wall launchers all across here, right? And then wall launchers all across there with some double broadsides in here. Right, so you can follow the logic. If this wall launcher launches, it'll launch over here. This could be a possible chain launch depending on the type of husk. And this broadside would do really good damage in a 2x1. Right, so either in this position or in this position, it'll do really good damage, right? It doesn't always have to be in a 1x1 situation for it to do good damage. It can be in these kind of situations too. That's perfectly fine, right? And the situation over here, wall launcher goes in here. It's a 2x1, 2x1. So there's the double 2x1s, and then they'll do really good damage. Even if they're not in there, right? It's over here. They still do good damage. If they're over here, still good damage, right? Coming in from over here, right? Right. So either way, it's going to do pretty good damage. You really want those broadsides to do that extra damage at the beginning. Once you get in over to this spot over here, there is no broadside, therefore the impact guard will not be broken, right? So the impact guard is not going to be broken from the broadsides, then they're actually perfectly safe to get launched back, right? Excuse me. My goodness. Alright, so if they get in here, they're going to get launched back, right? They get launched back to the beginning, so it's a critical wall launcher because when they get launched back, and then they're greeted by more wall launchers to walk up to in order to get back. Here is a second critical wall launcher, which will launch them all the way back, and then therefore they have to walk back through the wall launchers in order to get back to here, right? And then they can also meet with the other critical wall launchers. So this is why this particular tunnel is actually very good, right? Because you have 2 critical wall launchers here, right? And it's actually relatively cheap. You don't put floors here and here because they can destroy. This particular floor sometimes doesn't get destroyed, but more often than not it does. So I just remove it, right? And then once they're past this point, and then we agree to buy floor launchers, lots of them. Now the first floor launcher is actually not a full impact. This is going to be a 4 times impact, so it has some reload speed. Because this reload speed is actually really nice to have, right? Instead of doing the 8 seconds as a 5.4. 5.6 seconds, right? So it actually launches a lot more frequently. So this is actually very good, right? And then from there on, and it's going to be all 5 times full launchers, right? Right, so 5 times, 5 times, 5 times, 5 times, 5 times. So there's 5 times, and there's 1 4 times. So the total is 6 floor launchers from here, all right, which is good. From here, as you can see, I have a little bit of an extra layer over here, right, for the walls, just as not only extra protection, but it also acts as a lobber shield, right? So we don't have lobbers wanting to break down the walls or try to get to us, right? Over here, I have a block off, right? So this block off blocks this path, right? Which not only helps from them trying to drop down and try to path over, but also helps with the other block off on the northern part of this this defense, right? Which is really good. And then over here, I have a block off over here as well too. So this prevents them from dropping down and want to get on there, right? So this would encourage them to go all the way over here. And not only that, I even have this as wood too, it's just to help them encourage go all the way through. As well, I have this wall over here to prevent them from dropping down over here because they can walk down on these steps over here, right? So this wall prevents them from doing that. And that's essentially the first part of that. So you keep in mind, even though this is a very small tunnel, but these two spawns together actually make up only about 40% of the spawn, generally speaking, just 40%. So it's just shy of half. So this is why we can actually get away with this. And not only that, it's a split spawn, right? So there's one over here, it's a split spawn, right? Generally, more of them are going to come from here than down there, but it's going to be, again, less than down there, right? This here is going to be a lot of spawn, right? All right, so let's go on to the Devil West down here, all right? So down here, it's just a full row of wall launchers, or just a full row of wall launchers and some spawn gas, right? You can put more gas if you want to, right? Like over here, I just chose to remove them, but you can if you want to, and it does actually help. All right. Now, once you have all that down there, and then there is this over here, right? So this is just a little extra block off, or a little bit extra block off, and I would discourage using these. For some reason, they don't seem to work as well, because they not only they can path over here, right to over here, but it seems like they just don't block as well compared to doing these, right? They seem to like form some sort of land bridge, and I'm like, all right, you know what, I'm not gonna deal with it. And flingers, even though there's flingers over here, they actually don't path over here and start flinging, you know, they don't actually do that, which is good, all right? So yeah, so they just path all the way over here, right? So because this is a choke point, you want to make sure you have these wall launchers here, just so that, you know, not all the husks are coming in all at once. They can actually spread them just a little bit. And yeah, once you get them pathed into the north side over here, then we have this over here. So this is just to help encourage these husks, you know, go forward over here and not go over here, right? I might be able to get it with this. I'm not sure. I haven't tried it before. Maybe I could try it sometime, but yeah, for now I'm using this over here. All right. Now over here I have a wall dart, broadside, wall dart. So the wall dart over here I use because I didn't feel like the broadside would be of much value. Over here the broadside would be more valuable, and over here I did not use a broadside because I feel like the impact guard being broken from here may screw up this setup over here, right? So I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to use a wall dart, and that's okay. All right. Now, once you have passed all the wall launchers over here, the wall launcher over here, right? So this is just like a chain launch, right? So this wall launcher can launch over here, and this will launch them back over here, right? Which is okay. But once we pass all that, we're going to be greeted by the floor launchers. So these are all of these are 5 times floor launcher, 5 times, 5 times, 5 times, right? And these are kind of little timeout boxes. So they get launched in here, boop, 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 broadsides, and then the floor launchers, and then they come back in here, and then boop, 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 launch over here, right? So these are timeout boxes, and there's something really nice about these timeout boxes we're using the floor launchers, that if a smasher gets launched in there, right, and the broadsides keep on going, as they're coming up, the balls are still bouncing, doing impact damage. When they're doing impact damage, it lowers the impact guard, and it gets them prone to more wall launching, right, or floor launching, right? And not only that, the 1x1 broadsides just do massive damage in general, so they're really nice to have. Right, so these are the type of situations where I would use the 1x1 broadsides, right, for these kind of situations. Right, but once we pass the 2 timeout boxes over here, then we're met up with this, right? And this is a critical wall launcher. We'll launch them all the way back over here, right? And then they can go back to the timeout boxes, right? They might get launched back in the timeout boxes. A really nice loop. right? And then once they pass that, and they're greeted by the, hey, look, there's a wall launcher over here, and they can wall launch all the way back, right? And I guess I could probably even make this be a bit more. I guess I'll be a little bit more greedy and do that. But yeah, this would launch them all the way back over here, right? And then another timer box, and then they can possibly initiate this wall launch to launch them all the way back, right? So it's a pretty decent tunneling system over here, right, for the floor launching, right? I wouldn't say it's 100% AFKable like Wave 23 4-player, but it's really, really good. And I can probably show you some gameplay footage of it later. One thing you could do to make this build even better, right? It'll be a direct upgrade of this build, but I didn't do it. But you can go ahead and do it yourself, right? So this would be a direct upgrade of this build over here, right? Where you can make this a 3x1 timeout box, right? With broadsides, floor launchers, all the good stuff, right? And this would actually make it better because you're getting more time value, right? It takes more time over here, and then I can go back over here, right? So yeah, you can do that, and that'll make the build better, 100%. I chose not to, for my purposes, because I try not to AFK on the Devil Amp in general, but at the same time, this build was pretty good already, so I didn't go for it. But for you, you can go for it, and I'd be like, you know what, that's good. That would make it even better, right? All right, so I'm just gonna upgrade these, and also over here I have these edited floor pieces. Now these edited floor pieces are just so that this lava bomb doesn't hit over here or some really weird spot. Right, so you can make these flat floors, right? You can make these flat floors, and these will also serve well, but these actually added additional layer, right? These add additional layering, so I went for it, right? And as well, over here, to make sure they path towards this side over here, you're going to need some additional layering here, so I'm just going to go ahead and reveal that. So as you see, edited floor piece in here, and edited floor piece in here. And yeah, that should be pretty much good enough. I'm not sure 100% if you can make these edited floor pieces and get away with it. I have not tested that, but so far this build works, so I'm happy with it, right? I can probably experiment with some other time, but it's just that it's harder to experiment on the Devil Amp right now because you have to wait till wave 14. So yeah, I just don't try not to change this too much to try to save a tile or two, right? But yeah, so this is where I put my base right here. So that's where I place my base on the wood. And the reason why I use this wood spot is because it connects over here with all the floors in here and all the floors in there, but it also connects some floors into here as well, right? When I use Mega Base with the Ice King support, right? So just pretty much the only two supports I use is the Mega Base and Ice King for my base, right? Because that's all you really need for most builds. If you want to, you can use supercharged traps. I'm not a big fan of supercharged traps. I think it's a little overrated, but yeah, that's just my prerogative. All right. Yeah, I think that's most of the Devil. I think that's pretty much all the Devil Amp covered, really. There's only one more other thing that I should you should keep in mind, is that all my walls over here have increased health. So I probably didn't. You probably noticed it earlier. There's like, hey, look, these health have a lot of health on them. Yeah, because every single wall has increased health. So there's a trap on it, has increased health. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put a wall here in case sometimes this wall launcher launches them over here, right? Depending on the angle. So I'm just gonna put the wall over there. So I don't want them going into the higher density area. But yeah, all of my walls over here have increased health, and the reason being is because this reduces the chances of them being down when it's a nature wave, right? And a nature wave is generally they would go for the metal, and my best solution for the nature wave is actually just using health traps. If you use a health trap, it reduces the chances of them hitting the walls like a ton. Like, it's actually ridiculous. I tried using brick. I was not satisfied with the results, so I just stuck with metal like I always do and just use health traps. Same down here. Everything over here is health traps, right? Health traps, health traps, health traps. All of them are health traps. Right? Everything here, health trap, health trap. And this is actually partly the reason why I'm using these traps in the first place, is because I wanted the health trap. And I'm even debating about using health traps in here too, just for that purpose as well. Like, You know, I might even do it right now. I really encourage the use of health traps when it comes to the Devil Amplifier. Alright, and even this wall, this is a 4 times impact wall launcher, right? All the other ones assume they're 3 times impact wall launchers. But that one's actually a 4 times impact wall launcher because it's a further distance they can launch to. And there's not a high density. It's not a high density area, so I can use a lower reload. But because this one doesn't have a health trap on it, right? Because this wall launcher doesn't have a health trap, I use a wall dart behind with the health trap. And pretty much when you build Devil North, the health trap is going to help you a ton as well to reduce the chances of them breaking the walls. Alright. Now, one more thing before I end this, right? Because this is pretty much, I covered the entire Devil West, right? One more thing is that there is a flingers. They can go all the way around here, 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 and all the way around over here. So if you don't have, so whatever pit amplifier that you have, make sure that it's blocked in this area, right? Just make sure it's blocked in this area or down there, right? Down there with the 2 layers over there, that's fine, right? So just make sure that area is blocked because a flinger can path over here and want to fling, right? So make sure whatever pit design you have, make sure you can deal with the flingers, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it for this Devil West amplifier. Overall, I didn't want to spend too much structures on a Devil West because it's actually not too bad to build for. There are actually really good recycling builds you can do. Maybe I can do a video on them sometime. There are really good recycling builds that you can do. But they're a lot more costly than this, right? So that's why I went for a cheaper option. And yeah, a cheaper option is still pretty good, really. But yeah, that's it for this video. Yeah, I hope you guys took something out of it and have fun building.